Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show, baby. And there we were, man, the lifers together in the boat, going through it, no matter what. Weathering the storm, 66,000. Why does it always pump when I come on to the live? Like, why? Why does Bitcoin always seem to pump whenever I show up? I was looking at, we're looking at Zcash at the end of the stream and some natural gas. Wow. We said natural gas was going to break out. I guess it did. Look at that. Interesting. Let's take a look at BTC. Just interesting how we wrapped that out and then it happened. Bitcoin with a nice little pump up here to 67 and doing some damage. We call it damage cheese here on the show. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here on this beautiful Sunday night. We're going to break down Bitcoin for you. We're going to mainly focus on that weekly candle. The weekly candle close. Whoa. Never did that. Never did. We never drank through the close. The weekly candle close tonight for Bitcoin. We're going to break that down, have some fun, and that's what we're going to do. Get ready for the week ahead. See what's coming at us. What days we have to watch out for. It's a great live stream, really, if you're like a day trader and you want to kind of get ready for what we see. We're going to look at levels to look at the NASDAQ, the S&P, Bitcoin, gold, and we're going to kind of get ourselves ready for the week ahead. That's what Sunday night is for. If you're a real trader, you got to start planning out kind of, the mission. We got to start looking at what's in front of us on Sunday night. If you look at the 1 minute, it just was in a little flag here touching the 21, and it did what it was supposed to. It also made this flag here. You see? And that's the 21 above the 200. That is my model. And it did play out yet again right there. If you got in right there with a stop below the beginning of the flag, boom. Right here near the 21, boom. And so nice little pump for Bitcoin. In the last 10 minutes, the second my update was going, we started to rip to the upside for Bitcoin. So what do we see happening for BTC? Is there more upside, or are we continuing to collapse? By next week, where will we be? What are the odds? What's the probabilities? Let's break it down. Sammy, take it away. No, but seriously, let's take a look and see what's happening. First thing we're going to look is that weekly candle close. We're going to have some fun here and take a look at BTC. I mean, first time I've seen green on the weekly in a long, long time. This one actually was green. If you remember, just a couple days back, this looked like it was going to close green. And they shysted it from us. It said, no. Not going to happen. So, let's take a look. Bitcoin opened at 67,643. And this is BTC USDT on spot Binance, just to make it clear. Bitcoin opened at 67,643 and 39 cents. The high was $69.988 and 83 cents. The low was $62.510 and 28 cents. And the candle would close at $65,776 and 46 cents, down $1,866 and 93 cents. 2.76%. It would lose the previous close of the last candle, never regain it, and continue to dump. It made kind of like an indecision doji, didn't take out the low, still, shows sign of possible slowing down here. Like if you were pumping and you looked at it, it was like a pump. The pump is starting to slow down a little bit, getting sunned by the 200 moving average. Could we get a bounce? There's a chance. I'm always open to it. Let's go over the ideas of a bounce, why I see a bounce, and what the possibilities of a bounce are. Why could we bounce? Well, as I told you before, we don't know if we're going to really make even the beginnings of a bounce. Right now we are basically cuffed by the destiny of Bitcoin on the big time frames. As I told you, remember before, Bitcoin was only like this. Just a few years back, Bitcoin was like this. Right? It was like this. It didn't have a lot of data. You had one falling wedge. You had one little breakout. You had a falling wedge that had broken out. But when you made this bull flag here on the monthly, and then you hit the trajectory of the flag, that's when the monthly started. That's when we had to start taking the monthly seriously. You understand? A coin comes out. It's a week old. Do you look at it on the monthly? No. right? A week old coin on the monthly, right? It doesn't even have like it's like a blip on the radar. It looks like this on the monthly, just a little line, right? Nothing. One beginning of a candle. Once an asset has years behind it, you could start trading it on the monthly, but only until you know. And I figured this out like just from trading. Like, it's such a fascinating concept. You know, the idea of time frames. And like, for instance, eventually we'll be able to trade this on the year. Once it's 50, 60 years old, you'll be able to see yearly trends. And the scary thing is almost everything follows. And I don't know how TA does it. That's what's kind of like, it's kind of like how beautiful whoever created our universe. Technical analysis is kind of like shows pieces of our universe. It's a fractal of whatever system we're living in. And what do you mean? Well, what I'm saying is it's a mirror. It's a mirror. We live inside of this data math system, right? Some people call it a simulation. God created, you know what I mean? And some people think it's a God created, man created simulation. We're still inside. Who knows? You know, whatever you want to believe. I go to the belief we're in a God created, you know, realm no matter what. And so whether it's, you know, whether you believe it's whatever it is, it's like I'm in a blessed place where when I use my brain, I can definitely create what's going to happen. My brain has a big piece of my reality. Like if I think things, they tend to happen. I focused on somebody who was famous and known online. I focused on them for like 2 weeks, thought about them, read about them. Next thing you know, I'm walking down the street, they bumped into me. True story. And I walked with them for like 10 blocks. It was like, and I never knew who they were before in my life, never really thought about them again. What were the odds? Did my mind bring them into my life? Was it just a random coincidence? Whatever you want to say. Too many times my brain has been thinking of something and it's happened to me. And so I'm convinced that we all have some type of connection to another realm, a deeper vibration inside of us all, right? I figured this kind of match there, this, you know, I don't know, whatever. So, and I love this idea. Look at this shirt. I know you don't care, but the shirt and the tie, kind of how they almost look like they were made for each other, you know? Little things, man. There's always little things that are fun. Shout out to God is Love. God bless you, man. Thank you. The lifer's the type of guy who thinks the Fibonacci is Asian spaghetti. Hey. So anyway, because the monthly started to create a pretty big idea, we have to start looking at the monthly in the same way. And honestly, I mean, this is crazy. Like, you know, almost no asset gets this much dumpage. And usually when you get that much dumpage, there's pumpage coming, right? I mean, nothing goes down without going up. Everyone thinks that when it's going down, it's going to keep going down. But when it's going up, they think it's going to keep going up. But when it's going up, it's actually about to come down. And when it's going down, it's actually about to come up, right? Like, that's the key. I stick to this idea. This is back at 10. It's interesting. But every time I've seen it at a 5, I mean, I've never seen it at a 5. 9 was the lowest I think I bought. And this time I've seen it at an 8, a 5, a 6. I've never seen it at these levels in my entire life. So this is interesting. I keep buying Bitcoin at these low levels. I think it's a gift. You know, if Bitcoin was up in here, I couldn't buy it. I got actually sad when Bitcoin was up here. I don't really ever get sad, but, you know, in my mind, I was like, damn, man, the amount of Bitcoin I have will probably be that's it. Because I thought Bitcoin was, they had me fooled. I mean, once we got to the highs, I saw we were high. But at one point, when we got over 100K and we were ripping, we were like 115, 120. I was like, I thought we were just going to chill there, slowly consolidate. And like, there was a chance we never went below 100K again. They have me fooled. Like, institutions have spoken for it. Everyone's bought it. And because of that, like, it was going to, you know what I mean? Like, they had me thinking. Once TA showed itself, everything started looking clean. Thank you, man. God bless you. God is love. Appreciate that. Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. It's a beautiful Sunday night to be alive. I'm so blessed I have a YouTube channel and a microphone to talk to. I just want to keep thanking God for every single thing in my life and being grateful for every single moment. Gratitude every single day. Stay in the moment. Gratitude, stay in the moment. When I stay present and I stay in gratitude, somehow the right ideas come at the right time. The right person comes in at the right time. I do the right thing at the right time. I have the right meeting with the right team at the right time. Everything seems just to go my way, man. Once I start thinking about the future too much, I don't submit to God. See, when you submit to God, you live right now because God has given you right now and you're grateful for right now. See how submission takes care of everything? Like once you submit, everything makes sense. When you don't submit, you complain about a lot of stuff. You know, your life, your living place, where you're at, you know, the size of your car, You know, the job that you think you shouldn't have because you shouldn't be in that place, but we're all where we should be. The key is if you want to get where you're going, you got to claim where you are. It's the greatest quote ever. I just made it up. But if you want to get where you're going, you got to claim where you are. Sam Price. I did make that up. No one's ever said it exactly that way. People have said it, and I just made it up. It just came out. But if you want to get where you're going, you got to claim where you are. What does that mean? Well, let's say someone is down and out and they're doing, they're doing, the no-nos, the drug, the drugs. And they're up and they're messing up. And eventually they look in the mirror one day and they say, man, I'm messing up. I keep doing the wrong thing. NA helps you. They go to NA and they take responsibility for themselves. Okay? And, you know what I mean? Once you take responsibility for yourself, you can start to say, damn, I'm the reason I'm cleaning toilets as a janitor at a gas station because I've been doing, you know what I mean? Whatever it is. That might be a great job for someone. I don't want to put that down. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? The point is, that person can then end up owning a multi-million-dollar business one day, because if they can own where they are when they're down and out, they can own they are when they're up and up. But when you can't own when you're down. So here's an idea. I mean, if we can get if the monthly candle can flip green even a little bit, I'd be willing to even front run this monthly. And I've been doing it spot. I've been buying spot. I did a big amount of spot here. Now, if we come back down to 30K, which we may, right? That's about a 50% correction. I can handle it. So, and I'll be buying kind of all the way back down to 30,000. And I'm okay with that. So I have a plan. I can see the lows. I don't see us going lower than 30K, but you never know. But, so that's kind of like, we're going to see if the monthly can begin to show us something. But it's going to take some time. We need to see, this candle has to close green this month. We gotta flip the script here. Another red candle. And it looks like we're just going to get another red candle. If I had to assume, the trend's your friend until it's not. Right now, the trend's been down. It's telling us we're going to continue lower. 2-week charts finally showing some signs of life with the green, but not enough wick. I really don't like, you know what I mean? This weekly candle too, if you can see it, like it bounced, but it barely has a wick there. And it already has kind of a move to the downside on it. So it's just, I'll still, though, the weekly candle still at least is green. You know what I'm saying? So we opened at 65,766. The high was 67,079. The low was 65,761. The candle closed at 66. Oh, no, yeah, we already did. Yeah, we did the week. I was about to say, yeah. So the new weekly candle, we opened tonight. But, to me, I'd like a little more dumpage. I would have wished that we had started dumping this week. I really would like to have seen us dump this week, at least down. I would have minded if we took out the low. But at least somewhere down to 62, 63K. I was looking for a 63 low. Because that's a very low wick, and every time we've been doing this, these turn red again. I gotta be honest, it's already kind of bearish to me because of how the week started. Every really bullish week you've ever seen has a nice tail wick there. Nice tail wick. That means it started with a dump at the beginning of the week, at least the first day or two, at least maybe the first 5 hours. Something. And, it's very, there's a couple, there's a little wick there, there's a little, but this one you can't even see until you zoom all the way in. It's like I don't even want to say, but it's, you know what I'm saying. It's like you can't, hey, where's the magnifying glass? So let's take a look. The 5-day chart was looking bullish. So the 5-day chart did finally close its first green candle next to a red one, really in a long time. Like, look, the last time it happened even was there on January 11th. Dang near 2 months ago. And, this could be, you could get in here with a stop below these, because this is the first time we've had any type of possible reversal on a big time frame past the daily. What I see here on the 3-day, the 3-day looks like it's forming a bear flag. Agreed? And that just looks like it's going to dump in your face. I got to be honest. It just doesn't look amazing. Somewhere down to 50,000. Even entering a bear, a short right now with a stop above this wick is possible. Am I going to do it? Probably not. I'm day trading this stuff recently and spot buying Bitcoin. That's my thing. You do what you want. I've kind of settled with my idea. But I have to be honest, this just looks like it's going to dump. There's a chance it does it. It could be an Adam and Eve. It could save the day. I've been trying to dig into these longs. But like at the end of the day, it looks like it's going to continue to dump somewhere down to 50K. Stochastics look a little overbought. Even on the daily, the stochastics have you've had time to consolidate. The stochastics have reset basically from low to high, and you're lower than you used to be. That's pretty bearish, and no real strong bullish divergence here. The daily is overbought too as well. 8 hour doesn't look amazing. It's attempting to dig in, you know. And what I saw happening really was probably like 2 or 3 days of tightness, and then this thing's going to figure out what it wants to do. I like how the 4 hours in a bit of a bull flag there that could break out. You could say it's a cup and handle. So this is what I do. I look at the bigger time frames and I see whether we're bullish or bearish. I just want to kind of break down. If you're new here on my channel, you've never seen my analysis. I do what's called a top-down analysis. We work our way through it together. It's a lot different than any other channel you've ever seen. We kind of figure it out as we go. I'm not, I don't try to like have it all planned for you. I like to work, even if I had it all planned, I redo it again and like I didn't. Because I want you to understand how my mind works and what I'm looking at, right? That gives you more insight and it gives you the ability to gain more information from me. So when I'm gone and I'm not here anymore, you can remember, hey, that guy Sammy, this is how he used to break it down, right? So look, it's a bullish engulfing candle. It's a nice move right there. The 4 hour looks like it's in a bit of a flag that could break out. The 1 hour's been toying with this 200 moving average, you can see. And what I really see, what I see, which is, well, maybe we get a huge breakout. I would love it if we just continue to pump. I bought a bunch of spot Bitcoin. At the back of my mind, I would love a huge pump. That's what I really desire. But I got to go with whatever happens. I can't go on feeling an emotion. That doesn't work. That's not how it goes, right? I see a little pump up, a little pump down, and I just see sideways price action tonight, folks. I think the world's still in limbo with what's happening with the war, with the conflict. Sorry. Everyone's a little bit on edge right now. In my humblest of opinions. So, what now is Tehran is under heavy bombardment. Israel is hitting the Iran capital Har, multiple explosions lighting up the night. This is the hammer coming down until the Derek regime is completely dismantled out of power. That's what, Just seeing what people are saying. Funny, hotel stays are open. There's my man, Crypto Billy. In case you didn't know, there's my man. Yeah. Oh, that guy's super cool, man. Nice dude. I'm happy you met him. So awesome. Yeah, I knew that dude. Forbidden Knowledge. He's a nice guy. Billy Carson. Yeah. Crypto Billy, man, getting around. Doing things. Big things, man. Big things. He's going to be at Bitcoin Las Vegas, folks. And we're going to have links to that, too. I have a link here, too. I put in the comment section earlier today. And you get a 10% discount if you jump on in with my link to Bitcoin Las Vegas, the Bitcoin conference. Let me see here. But we'll have that all figured out for you in the morning. So just wait till tomorrow morning, but we will have links out. And I just highly suggest you go, man. I'm going to have an event. We're going to hang out. There's going to be so many people there. A day or two, a couple days. I'll be there most days. It's awesome. And I'm not saying, it's conveniently, they say Vegas has less people too, which is kind of nice, man. It'll be less traffic. It'll be quieter. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be. I don't always have to have 1,000 people all, you know what I mean? It's nice to have your own people, man, and do your own thing. So I just see this kind of going sideways, but I like that it's back above the 200 moving average. Same with the 15-minute time frame. I'm just not too excited about it, Again, though, the 21 could come up, and this could cause one of the biggest pumps up. But I just see it going sideways through the end of this nose. And to be honest, I'm still leaning that we're going to dump. But if I see something different, if the 1 hour stays heftily above the 200 moving average, and then the 2 hour breaks above the 200 moving average, if the 2 hour breaks above, we get up in here, and we eventually really get back above 71.5, we have a fighting chance. There's a chance that we it's amazing we still held this low, but kind of like October 10th, we hit the low, we eventually took it out. What was that? Let's go, so we hit the low, right, October 10th. Look what the day we finally took the low out. It was like November 4th or November 5th. You see what I'm saying? November 4th, we took the low out. You see that? So let's kind of go to this idea here. It was February 5th. We could take the low out on March 6th, March 5th. You know what I'm saying? It would be kind of the similar story. So for me, you got to get nicely back above these 200s. When the 200 smothers, and what I mean by smothering is this. So normally you'll get the moving averages here. You'll get the gap. Here's the other moving averages. The 21, the 50, the 80, the 100, right? And they'll get like it. And you're supposed to get the pump here, cross the 200, pull the 21, get the flags, and then you're supposed to be on your way to and then you're supposed to do that to each next condition time frame, like the 4 hour, the 8 hour, the daily. And that's that's what a bull run is. That you'll get what will happen is eventually you'll get stuffed by a 200, right? So that got really tight. Okay. That got really tight. So the idea is now smothering is when you have all the moving averages, the 200, but the 200 keeps coming, and then it kind of comes into it, and price just flatlines with it, and then it usually just dumps. It's the same thing if you were in a bull position. You just, you get tight, and then the tightness kind of creates the next move up, right? Anyway, so if I'm going to predict where we're going to be tomorrow morning, I see sideways price action for Bitcoin. I wouldn't be jumping in longs on Sunday night, low volume either. Let's take a look at what's happening to Forex Factory. Let's look at the CME. CME says basically no way we're getting anything. It says 97% chance they're not going to cut the rate. So 95% chance coming. Yeah, that's coming closer than we think, right? It seemed like so far away. And now St. Patrick's Day is again just 15 days away. You know what I mean? Funny. It's weird for me because then it goes like this. March 1st comes. And then, what's interesting is it's been really, like today was hot. Like you go outside right now and it's a humid night here. Really humid here in Florida. Even if you look at the weather right now, humidity is 81%. And it's the first day since last October. We've literally had November, December. We've had half of October, November, December, January, and February this year. See, my first year ever here in Florida, just to let you know, you don't care, but in case you wanted to, about the charts, instead of the charts for a second. My first year in Florida, I came in April, and it was a little windy and kind of cool, April 28th. Little cool day, like 78 with this, it was humid, but there was this cool breeze, and it was a breezy day my first day here. It was so windy you could hear this whistling that I only get to hear once every month or two now. I thought it was more common, but that it was my first day here. So, and after that it just got humid and more humid, and then we lived through the summer, and the summer is just, you're outside and it's kind of nice in a way because it's like living in a sauna. But the thing, and you go through multiple pairs of clothes a day. You go through 2 or 3 pair of boxers a day. You really do, because if you go outside and you, let's just say you decide, hey, I'm going to go walk to go get the mail. And the mail's not even that far from my house, right? It's and you walk to go get the mail. You'll come home and your entire shirt will be soaking wet. Your pants, your boxers you'll be sweat. You'll have to take a light shower and put on a new pair of clothes, just to get through. You can't sit in your house like that. So there's one pair. If you work out that morning, there's another. You know what I mean? If you take your family out that night for something, when you get home, you're probably going to want to take a shower again before you go to sleep. You're going to be just, dirty and humid. The humid air has that, brings you can almost feel like all your shirts get that dirt on the back. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I love it. I'm not complaining. And what I love about being in Florida is, I work from home. I have nobody to impress but you guys, right? And to me, it doesn't really matter, right? If I get sweaty, I just put on another pair of clothes. I go through 4 pairs of clothes a day. Who cares? You know what I mean? It's kind of fun. Yeah. So we leave every summer and we go somewhere else. So, towards basically around March 20 something, I'm out. I mean, May 20 something, I'm gone. Last year, all the conferences were on the same time. It got in the middle and I didn't get there at the time I wanted to. This year, we're going to get there nice and early for kind of cool weather. Like there's going to be some cold days and cold nights. And I'm going to have it's kind of fun for me because I'm going to be at the end of May. And then I'm going to watch as the summer gets hot on the East Coast and the Northeast, right? And it's really special for me, man. I go through because growing up in the Northeast, man, I will tell you, it may be cold, but there's something really special about they got snow right now like you wouldn't believe still. They got one of the big winters where the snow piled up everywhere. And you had to keep shoveling. It's so crazy, man. Living in Florida, but having lived in the Northeast for so long. All right. Yeah. How's the humidity down there? Tonight, so what happens is in Florida, you get these 4 months of really nice weather. Last year, I remember specifically, it was so hot and humid on Halloween. And it probably slowly turned into less humidity by the second week of November, and it was beautiful. But I remember it getting hot again by towards the end of February, it was already starting to get hot. So we only had a smaller section last year. This year, the cooler section was longer. I guess because they had a bigger winter, we had a cooler, but it was nice. It was unbelievable. The last few months have been just unbelievable. You go for a walk any day you want. You can do anything you want outdoors. Golfing is perfect. It'll be 78 degrees with the breeze, no humidity. It's been like that for months now. And what happens now is every couple of weeks, it's a little hotter. By April, it's going to be scorching hot. You know what I mean? And then by May, it's going to be a humidity fest. By the day I leave, it's going to be one of the hotter days of any, in any place you've ever lived. It's going to be hot and very sticky and humid, right? And then it just becomes humid. You have to heat up your car, cool your car down before you go anywhere. Right? Right now, you have it. You could just get in your car. I've been able to just jump in my car for the last 3 months. So I see sideways price action for Bitcoin before it gets very tight here. And it's going to decide what it wants to do. Isn't that crazy? That could take all week. It could go sideways all week long inside this range. It could be Friday when it finally decides, Friday or Saturday. But hey, so if I had to guess, we're going lower. You could put a head short here with a stop above this, and you'd be covered for a massive dump. I'm going to wait my turn and see what happens. I'm going to give Sunday night its time and wait and just not jump the gun So, 5 minute 21 across the 200 above. Yeah, let's take a look at the 5. Thank you. There's a little action right there, but you could see. So what I would do there is I would flag that out. High risk to buy right now, but it could be the perfect buy. It could make a right shoulder there and just dump. You see how it's possibly an not an inverted, but a regular head and shoulder there. Just something to look at, something to think about. Nothing's 100%, Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. We love you. We appreciate you here on this beautiful Sunday night. Let's take a look at Forex Factory and see what's happening for the week ahead, shall we? We shall. Wow, man, it's kind of cool. Sunday, March 1st, we start off kind of right? We got rid of February. February was a tough month, I'll tell you what. Bear City, man. Yeah. Living the dream in Palm Coast, and you couldn't ask for a nicer weather. Oh, man, the last 4 months, I have to be honest, the world's been in chaos. People have been freezing their butt off, and I know there's been a lot of ups and downs this year. And in the end, but the last 4 months, I'll tell you what, in my life, the best 4 months of weather I've ever had in my life of continuous weather. Dear Lord, thank you so much for Florida. Thank you so much for bringing my family here and bringing me to the promised land, man. Something special about this place, I'll tell you what, man.
And the people here are upbeat. They're happy. Feels like everyone, I fought to get here. I dreamed of living in the town I'm living in for years, and I'm finally here. So I'm in such a good mood. Because this is where fate, I've been dreaming about living. How could you be upset in a place you dreamed of living in? I used to be in a New York City cubicle being like, one day I could live in Florida. I'd watch a YouTuber and he'd be YouTubing with the pool in the background. You know what I mean? A streamer, some trader, somebody, and I'd be like, man, this guy's got a life, man. I said, I got a 1-bedroom apartment I'm still renting for $1,500 and I work a night shift, And I'm and I was like 34 years old. I was like, I'm old. Older than I think I should be. I'm not where I want to be in life. I got nothing. I started late, everybody, and it happened for me. It can happen to you. You got to sell at the right time. You do have to not be greedy. There's things you do have to take advantage of. But anyway, let's take a look at Monday. Monday's got nothing for us, which is awesome. We have a clean Monday, which tells us Monday night looks ready for, for action. I like to start trading Monday night, so we'll see what happens, but so far, so good. Then you have some members speaking at the FOMC. Never really matters to me. I never pay much attention to that. Unless it's minutes and it's, and it's Jerome. It doesn't really matter. I have to be honest. Some people may beg to differ. I don't, Then we have ISM service PMI, whatever. That's a little bit. But ADP non-farm employment change at 8:15 Wednesday. So that's the first thing you want to look at. So Tuesday and Monday, we're off, man. It's kind of nice. It's our first Monday, Tuesday kind of clean at the beginning of the month. It's pretty nice. Thursday, unemployment claims. Friday, core retail, non-farm, retail unemployment. So big red folders, Thursday, 8:30, Friday, 8:30. Write those down, put a sticky on your desk. I always put a sticky, even though I wrote them down, I had them on my phone, it never happened. When I put it on a sticky and I stick it to my screen and write Friday, 8:30, 8:30. I planned it you know what's funny is I've told you guys about it, talked about it every day on a live, and then still woke it up at an 8:15 and my daughter's walked in my room and been like, hey, Dad, could you help me with something? I'm like, yeah. I look at something I see, I'm like, oh, that's a nice trade. And then I go help her. And then I come back and I see like some insane movement and I'm like, oh man, I forgot. I was like, I forgot 8:30. Like, so it's crazy. And the only way, had I had a sticky on my desk, I might have seen it right on the screen, specifically on the bottom of the screen. It's just something I offer to you guys. Do whatever makes you happy, right? I guess you could do a Siri alert. Hey Siri, give me an alert when at 8:29, 8:27, whatever whatever it is, She heard it, dude. You hear that? She picked it up. My phone's over there. Oh, that's crazy. Always, your phone's always listening. That's so creepy, right? Even it's like 5 feet away, man. It picked it up. I just said we could do something like this and it happened. So funny. So there's red folders, 8:30 Friday and Thursday. And that kind of gets us ready for the week ahead. So that's why I love this stream. You don't have to be a part of my, my trading group. If you were, it's great. You just got to be a trader, someone that loves to trade, someone that loves the action, someone that wants to change their life with learning technical analysis. If that's you, then I'm here, man. For guys and girls, ladies and gents, anyone that wants to change your life. See, that looks kind of like a head and shoulder. It's going to dump to the downside there, if you ask me. I didn't draw this saying this. I just said this is what, I'd look for this to fill out if I was going to trade tonight, but I'm not trading Sunday night. I'm going to leave it alone. Yeah. If I wake up tomorrow and there's a huge dump, so be it. I don't tend to chase price action Sunday night on low volume. It's never really a great idea. See if there's anything pumped today, even though it was a Sunday. Funny, Hyperliquid back to 32, a little bit of movement there. 5%. And Jupiter, it's so funny to see Jupiter and Hyperliquid, some DeFi protocols pumping a little bit. Look, a little bit of movement in all coins today. 1 to 2%. And in the last week, we have a few 19, 16, 14. Not bad. I think Hyperliquid's good long term. It seems to stabilize itself with its utility, right? I like Aster better, just, you know what I mean? Because it's newer and hasn't made the bigger jump yet. But that's just me. You do whatever makes you happy. I still think Aster is a buy. I think Solana's a buy. As crazy as that may sound, I think Chainlink's still a buy. It's crazy though how Casper's still amazing, right? And that thing 19 cents was we 19x'd it. We did give some great calls, Wow, the gold trade, everybody. Gold, baby, gold. You didn't tell me how much you love me, did you, baby? Gold, baby, up $2,300 on the trade. 60%. Show me the money, man. This trade was down almost $3,000 a couple times, too. Wow. And we were up even bigger on gold. Wow, it went to 387. It actually got a sell-off there. So it opened up. See, this is why the original market's so crazy. It opens up at 6 p.m., right? Yeah. Boom. Gets a huge pump. Look, I already put myself in position, but that's we wanted to make like 10 grand off this trade. But if you took the gold trade like I did, man, you're in the money. You stuck with me. We got in somewhere on like February 20th, right? It's been dang near 10, 12 days. Shout out to my lifers. Anyone still in the gold trade with me? Who's still in the gold trade here? And that's the juice, baby. Getting paid every single day, man. When you trade every asset and all different assets and you can put your sauce everywhere. So Bitcoin was flat for a while, looked shady, was up and down chop. We found a beautiful bull flag on gold. Like the 21 was touching the 200, the tight moving averages. Like we found that, I started calling the consolidation. Once gold came, I drew my Fibonacci's. I gave you guys the bounce right here. We traded that. You know what I mean? We've been all over this puppy. Wow, what a nice pump for gold. This is going to give it back now on a bigger time frame. Let's take a look at gold here. Let's take a look at the S&P futures. Ooh, they open up bearish with a nasty little dump, breaking the trend line there. I still think that will wick back inside the pattern. I still believe it will. Let's take a look at NQ. NQ also breaking the idea. Dang, man, stop loss still intact, but dang. Trying to double tie. It is good. That is cat ears. You know what I mean? Yeah. I still see this wicking back inside. They're just using the war to scare people, to flush them out. That's what I see. And that's why gold's ripping too. Gold rips in times like this, And gold is doing damage. I see it continuing. It'll probably make a flag on a smaller time frame. Yeah, look for it to consolidate on the 15. Get tight and continue further to the upside. I see gold breaking out. My target for gold is up there at 54. We got pretty dang close, though, at 53.81, man. We're getting there. How is it green if it's lower, though? That doesn't make any sense. Bold, baby, bold. Gold. There we go. This one's better. This is what we're looking for. It's amazing, though, huh? Trading, putting your money down and watching more money come back. And so many people can't do it. So many people lose money. 90% of people or more or something, right? They couldn't make 20. They couldn't do it. Like they couldn't put, look, we put $4,000 and we made $2,000. It's not like I used $10,000. You know what I'm saying? If you can take $4,000 and turn it into 23, I mean, you're doing pretty dang good. Almost makes me want to take the money now. But I've been in the trade for so long, you can see I'm guaranteed to make $400. I got the stop loss above my position. This is live on BTCC, live gold trading here on BTCC. And I gave this trade to I think I gave it on the live, but I definitely gave it to my community. Many times we went over it and talked about it. So yeah, if you're bullish, Bitcoin's got to bounce here on the 50, on the 5-bit at 200. It's got to get a bounce, kind of consolidate. It may break out tonight. If it can consolidate and get sideways, you have a chance of a breakout. Yeah. See, the stock market should have a decent correction, but they're about to inject so much money into the market. Just doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Funny, the dollar looks like it's going to pump a little bit, though. See how the DXY cup and handle? It would tell us to be careful for the week ahead. That looks like it's about to pump. So the DXY looks like it's about to go up. I mean, there you go. Why could the DXY go up? Well, you got military contracts, right? Remember, when everyone goes to war, everyone buys for the same seller. War is just, it's the Rothschilds produce, you know what I mean? It all comes back to the banking system. They always funded both sides of the war. They put one person in debt and one person won the war because of the debt and said thank you. Another person just got put further into debt and lost the war. Both ended up, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. And again, I can teach you how fiat currency kills humans because it prolongs war. For instance, if you just had to dig gold out, use the gold for manufacturing, pay for your weapons to get made, right? Then you could only get so many weapons out there, so many soldiers equipped. And how many soldiers is an equipped soldier, right? For us, a soldier, he has to have bulletproof vest, he has the helmet, right? My whole point is a soldier is equipment. You need the body, but then you need the equipment on the body, right? They do have less equipped soldiers, but that's when you're getting thin. And that you usually lose there too because now your men don't have what they need. So the point is you equip your soldiers. How do you do that? You got to pay for it. So the more you can pay for, the more soldiers you can put out on the ground, right? And so think about it. They both borrow fiat currency from a money printer, and men just get chewed up. So as the money printer prints, men are out on the front lines just getting completely slaughtered. And thousands of people are dying. Again, those wars would have stopped because both people would have said, dang, I only have so many men now. I can't keep mining the gold. If both of them had a gold standard, right? You could say whoever had the better mining could win the war. And you could say, okay, and that would be mining innovation. But again, it would have been a different, right? The whole point is because of fiat currency, millions and millions of people have been killed throughout the world because of how we can prolong wars due to money printing. Understand? And this is the concept I thought about the other day. It hit me like I didn't hear anyone say this. It hit me one day. I said, man, money printing it indirectly chews men to pieces. I think of the money printer printing and I think of men going into a slaughter machine and I think of it going like, and it's like hand in hand, right? I weld military parts. It's been slammed. See, this guy's getting caked off with the military parts right now. He's doing damage. Of course, it makes sense, right? Sammy Master Frantic Crypto Billy, drop that knowledge and real facts. God bless you, brother. Shout out to my man, Nathan. Nice to see you back, brother. Nice to see you back. So, yeah, there's that little bounce that we want to get. We want to see it come up, get tight, sideways, pull the 21 up. The 50 comes from the 200. We get the golden cross. The stochastics RSI reset. We come up. They reset one more time. You want to see them come up, come down again. When they come down, you want to be here, and boom. That's kind of how it works, folks. That's how it works. BlackRock said Bitcoin is a flight to safety when it comes to wars. Yep. Let's take a look at USOIL. That crude, baby, that crude. Wow, so it spiked. It did hit my target at $74 a barrel. So crazy. I called that target like somewhere back here, remember? On February 12th, I said, I see oil spiking. Just because the chart. Show me the charts and I'll show you the news. Simple as that. They went down, they came up. Boom. Pumped to the upside and hit that target. Look at that big pump. Nailed it, man. And so oil did hit the target like it was supposed to. And I gave you guys that trade too. It is what it is, baby. It is what it is. Right? Crypto survives everything, man. It's, wars, you name it, man. So yeah, we traded oil, we traded gold, we traded Bitcoin. We give you Forex, we give you whatever you ask for here on the stock market too as well. Follow me at CryptoLifer33 on X. I greatly appreciate it. I'm always putting out content there and having a blast. Some of the behind the scenes information as well. All right.
I'll take you anywhere. Just tell me I'll be there. We don't need a plan. I like it unprepared. Whatever comes our way.
And today's a special day, man. I don't want to say why because it's personal, but it's just a special day. And wish us all luck. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day. So the DXY looks like it's on its move. So it's weird. We got the DXY pumping. People flight to safety, right? You got oil pumping, which we knew was going to happen with the Strait of Hormuz getting kind of tight. You can see a good bit of stress on oil. It did make a dump back to the downside here on the 1 hour time frame. Let's take a look at a better chart. I can't stand regular markets, man, when you're used to like 24/7 crypto. There you go. There's a nice chart, though. But, you know, we saw this moving to the upside. We saw the flank forming, and we saw the measured move. I called 74. All right, now this is different. It's like 7,500, but same idea, right? 7,475, right? But there you go, man. You know, it's a little far for the 21 now on the daily with a nice pump. So now you would want to start to flag it out. Wait for the 1 hour to kind of get tight again, and then probably come back to that previous high. That was the probably perfect trade there. The traders took advantage. You can always see the traders that take advantage. It's almost like traders take advantage of the market, man. You know, at the end of the day, you want to be a trader, long-term investor in what you love, a trader in what happens on the day-to-day. Once I started day trading, the market was better to me. You know what I mean? Because I started taking, volatility one day, which would go up and down. I'd be like, oh, that's crazy, you know. And as a day trader, I was like, that's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, I started really appreciating any price action, dumps, pumps. Anytime I could extrapolate money out of the market, I felt it was a good move. It also made me more accustomed to like any move. You know, before I was like, oh, I love bullish moves. You know, I didn't want to, look at that thing. It was a pump and dump, man. Look at, see? I told you guys, stay away from this stuff. All the way back down to, look, be careful, man. Everyone's like, oh, we're so happy. I said, yeah, look, the TA said it was going to pump. But then the TA, that was also away from the 21, right? And so the TA also said, hey, you're going to dump. You pull the fib there, and look, it comes back to the 786 Fibonacci retracement. You go to that very first impulse, I mean, it's pretty dang close. Anyway, I didn't touch that thing. Someone said it was also, I told them to be careful. No one listened. Anyway. Can we talk about fake Jim Carrey before we end? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like real Jim Carrey. I got to give it, I got a 80% chance that ain't Jim Carrey. I'm with it. I'm with you guys. I've said the same thing. I've spent enough time on it, but I think it's a waste of our time, whether it's Jim Carrey or not. You have to understand, man, we know they can clone people, bro. Remember when they came out with Dolly the Sheep? You know, and recently Tom Brady cloned his dog, right? That came out. So we know they can clone human beings, man. Come on. This is like, they've been doing that for I think they've been able to clone for probably over 20 years, maybe longer. And that's what I believe, but you believe whatever you want. Once you understand this stuff is real and you really get over it, you can really get to the truth. When you're still dabbling, whether it's real or not, then your mind is already messed up. And that's the problem too. They've taken the truth so far away that by the time you decide what's true or not, you can't even go which direction to find the truth. It make it really tough. You have to have somebody in deep of the government that had Q clearance that can give you a few details and some hints. Otherwise, it gets lost. You get lost. Yeah. Exactly. And someone said you don't even need to clone. They have Hollywood masks that work so well yet. The sheep of the 80s, cover up Time magazine. Sammy knows. Yeah, remember the sheep? Dolly the sheep? Or was her name Dolly? Dolly the sheep cloned? (1996) was the first successfully cloned. So look, Dolly, right? So Dolly the sheep was the first mammal successfully cloned from adult somatic cell using somatic cell nuclear transfer. Born July 5th, 1996 at the Roslin Institute in Scotland, she was created by transferring the nucleus from a mammary gland of a 6-year-old Finn Dorset sheep into an enucleated egg cell from a Scottish black-faced sheep. The reconstructed embryo was stimulated with electrical pulses to initiate cell division and implanted into a surrogate mother, resulting in a healthy lamb genetically identical to the donor. Dolly's birth was a landmark scientific achievement, proving that a fully differentiated adult cell could be reprogrammed to develop into a complete organism. And that was 20 years ago, folks. 30 years ago, sorry. So crazy, right? How time has flies. That was 30 years ago. Okay. She lived only 6.5 years, shorter than the typical lifespan, and she died on February 14th, Valentine's Day, from a progressive lung disease, which was linked to a retrovirus common in sheep, not her cloning, which can happen. She was preserved and is now on permitted display at the National Museum of Scotland in Edinburgh, which is interesting. All right. Those Scots are crazy with their cloning. All right. I think Jamie may be a clone. We don't know, though. We're still kind of figuring that out. There's nothing new under the sun. Yeah, crazy to think it's probably old technology now. Oh, yeah, for sure. We've been in the dark. You've been in the dark. Once you realize you've been in the dark, you can really come to the light. But, you know, if you think you know it all, then you'll never know anything. You know, and that's the key. Man. Anyway, I love y'all. I'm going to jump on out of here. I don't want to like just keep kind of hanging out with BTC. Give myself, I've been really going after a good night's sleep with my leg. You know, before I would be like all night long, baby. You know, it does look interesting though. You know, when we look at it, this 1 hour could end up breaking out, but I just see it hitting here. 68, but you never know, man. I could wake up at 71A and there'd be a huge pump with geopolitical unrest, all this stuff going on. Nobody knows exactly what's happening, you know. So it is what it is. But we'll be back at it tomorrow morning. Shout out to Zab Live. Shout out to everybody here. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate you all for being absolutely amazing. We got that work done this weekend. Really appreciate that. That was an awesome move. But everyone, thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate you all. I thank you all for being amazing. And let me just double check and make sure. Go to the gym, bro. Thank you for that $9.99. You didn't have to give, but you did. And let's just take a look at the fan funding here. We got Tori. Thank you so much, Tori. God bless you, man. We got Victor Navarro. Always gives. God bless you, Victor. And we got Go to the Gym, bro. Thank you so much, guys. That's very nice. You didn't have to give, but you did. And shout out to a milestone on the channel. 105,000 subscribers, everybody. Thank you so much. 105,000 subscribers. You know, I remember the day, man, when I would have begged for 5,000 subscribers. And I first had my first 1,000. It's been years, man. It's taken years. It's taken years. All right, everyone. I started my channel in September 19th of 2019. So when we come back to September, it'll be 7 years. So if you want something bad enough, you'll get it. But you got to give it time. A lot of people don't want to wait 7 years to become successful. But it's going to take, it's going to take 3 to 5 years to be really good at something. So just tell yourself, you got to fall in love with the journey. See, how did I get successful, or what people assume as successful, what looks successful? Because successful is being in the moment too. I stayed in the present, folks. How do I, you know what's funny is I sit there some days and I know right now I'm booked to work for the entire year of 2026, right? The stream does well. My life is going well. There will be no reason for me to miss the stream. Okay? Everything is going so well. Why would I miss the stream, right? So when I look at that, I say, wow. So I'm booked by my own company for the entire year. Every single day I'm booked. I book myself. And that's kind of cool, right? Because I remember when I was always looking for work and people were booking me and I was like, oh, I have a busy schedule. I got to go places. And now, like, I make my schedule and it's my company tells me where I got to be and for what. Sometimes I have a business meeting. Sometimes we have things we got to work on. Sometimes I travel. But for the most part, it's, and then I always have to hit the stream on no matter what. Point is, it's kind of cool to set your own schedule. Like, I'm booked by myself. Like, I'm just thinking about the concept of that. And I don't mean to brag. I'm just thinking of the idea, like, go after your dreams and book yourself, I'm booked for the entire year. Someone hits me up and says, hey, we want you over here. I'm going to say, I can't do that. I have my own show. I can't. I can't go over there. It's really nice because the old me used to have, I was trying to start 100 businesses at once. And I'd go to one business meeting and another, and then I'd be working with someone for 2 months and then over here for 3 months. And I really just get pushed and pulled around. And it turned into it was kind of a disaster sometimes. And it turned into a waste of my time. And had I just kind of stuck to the script. So now I know where I'm going to be. And when someone says, hey, we want you over here, I'm like, no, I don't do that though. Like, I got my own show that I can't break. I got to be at my spot, right? And what that does is it raises your value. You're more valuable because you tell people that you can't be somewhere just because they want you to be there. It just can't happen. You know, there's rules to your life. Like, I have serious rules to my life, right? Those rules have turned into discipline that have changed my entire life. And that have done things for me that I never thought possible. So, as much as I love TA and teaching TA, I really want to teach the mastery of oneself. How to master oneself. I could not master myself for a long time. And I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means. But I got like, if I had 10 issues, I got like 7 of them taken care of. I still have 3. But I used to have 10 issues and I had 1 taken care of, maybe. I was a mess. Everything was all over the place. So right now I got a lot more things put together than I've ever had. I understand how to stay in the present. I understand that being a family man to my kids and my wife will keep me grounded and keep me away from all the temptations that the devil brings. And that will help my company grow. And why I've been doing well for so long, because no scandals, no craziness, I'm in Las Vegas. You don't hear about any nonsense, right? Because I stay around good people. I go to bed early. I stay away from the baloney, and I don't play that game. I stay true to God and I stay true to myself, and I don't drink alcohol. If I drank alcohol, you never know, man. It does skew your judgment. You might do something you think you normally wouldn't do, and then think it's okay. Well, I was drunk, so I don't have to think about it anymore. It's almost like we get to excuse ourselves for things because, I was drunk then. I didn't mean to punch that guy, but I was drunk, So that's okay. I wouldn't have never done it if I wasn't drunk, but you did it, though. You know what I'm saying? So that's another reason why I gave up alcohol. You find me saying the next morning, well, I was drunk, so it's not that. And then thinking I did things that were horrible. We thought they were funny. Remember when I threw up all over the cab and then we slapped that, it's just like, it's crazy. Look, Head and Shoulder, D-Center, they dumped it. And I'm not saying we were going to pump for sure. I'm just saying I set it up so if it does do that, that's the trade I would take. If it doesn't do that, I don't take the trade. It actually looked kind of bearish, right? You can see how it was kind of somewhat Head and Shouldery. I see it just going tight, just getting tight. And I don't trade Sunday night anyway, so I'm not that into it, right? Yeah, ownership mentality, very rare. Why they pay big. Treat it like you own it, even when you don't. Yeah, I like that he said that. Yeah, it's like, I remember when I made this stream a big deal to me when when nobody cared about it. It didn't have thousands of people. I didn't have any sponsors. I didn't have people that care. There wasn't there was no partnerships, no deals. There's no nothing. But I treated this show like it was the best show on earth, man. And I showed up and I dressed nice. And we put the best, I already knew how to do show business. So we put the best mic, the best camera we could. We did the best we could with production value. And we brought it up, I recently invested in a new lens and camera, or I had it, but I got it into the show. So anyway, I love you all. I appreciate you. We have a new monthly candle. Get ready for the week ahead. I would not overtrade tonight. Tonight's where you get a good night's sleep. You take care of the mind. Who cares if you missed a trade? Who cares if it doesn't have to be every single thing. Keep the mind clear. That's the point. Keep the mind clear. And then we go from there. You see what I'm saying? Keep the mind clear. We go from there. A good night's sleep on Sunday night. Waking up nice and early on Monday morning, ready to go with your parameters, what you want to do, knowing what you want to, how you want to handle the price action. This is an important part of trading. Taking care of your mind, body, and soul. I love you all, everybody. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a blessed night. If I keep talking, I'll talk your ear off, but I will all week long. So get ready for hours and hours of my voice. But I love you. I appreciate you, man, Sam, with so much words of wisdom, dude. Thank you. Yeah, I love you, Sammy. Thank you. I'm just telling you about life, everybody. Get a 5 to 10 year plan. That way you won't just get discouraged by some small pullbacks. You'll be like, I got a plan. I had a plan to get to 100,000 subscribers, man. I kept going until I hit it. Now I'm going for 250,000. That's the next goal, right? And we'll go there till we hit it. I don't know when we're going to hit it. It might be a year, 2 years. It might be 4 years. It might be 3. It might be 1.5. I don't know. I might get on a podcast that might boost me, and I might get 50,000 subscribers in a month. It might never happen. I might have to grind it all the way out. Who knows? I'm going to enjoy every single moment, though. I love you. Thank you. God bless.